I'm currently in a period of deep reflection and introspection, and finally letting go of the pain, quote unquote, the pain, the ideologies behind being rejected. I'm finally completely free to be myself without any fear of repercussions in this world, in this life. Because as a child, I tried to be something that I was not. I tried to be like everybody else and still never felt accepted. I was a people pleaser. I tried to get on with everybody. And I still never felt like I belonged in this world. It's only now that I come to realise we can't truly feel like we belong in this world, the world that we have known. I can only truly belong in my world, my version of reality. And it's only authenticity which brings in more of the same. So I've had so many experiences in group dynamics or on an individual one-to-one level where my embodying who I am has caused me to be moved along, or I've passed through places, you know. Before, I would have called it being left out in the cold, when I was feeling sorry for myself, when I was a victim of the story, of the victimhood. I had a long list of people who rejected me, abandoned me, failed to meet my needs, scapegoated me. All of it doesn't really matter, right? But now I understand. Because the pain, the confusion came from seemingly being accepted and then not. Because the contrast is felt. But to be in connection with one who is like me, and that's not to say that I'm special, it's different. Against the grain of culture, of society, all that superficial appearance, worrying about appearance. My presence, my energy enables others to connect to that within their self, which is their authentic expression. And then being a shapeshifter, being fluid, being multifaceted without shame. It's like God, life, moves through me, works through me, not just me. And who I am being, changes form. And it's almost like testing the boundaries, how far another is willing to accept themselves, and there's a certain cut-off point sometimes. The freedom of expression that happens through me. It's like some people have a barrier to full expression, and that would be, darkness and light. Let us not forget that we are both. So all of this I have been doing unconsciously, unintentionally, by not trying, not calculating, not planning how to be in any moment. So, full acceptance and surrender to life, coupled with a conscious will to learn from every experience that is in front of me, is what enabled me to be living from a space of non-judgment in others, but conversely within myself. Many hours was spent measuring who I have been. Close scrutiny under a microscope. First off, it was questioning, well, who do I have to be to feel good enough? Who do I have to be to receive validation for that which I am being? In order to show up in the world and be recognized. But it didn't make sense because it was all like an amalgamation of other people's opinions. And only my opinion of me matters in this life. And even that is a falsity, because only God's opinion of me, only what my true character is the truth of who I am. My family, for example, think as one, as a group. I think as one, as an individual. So, a family unit, which is a hive mind, could not recognize itself in a free spirit. So immediately that will get rejected, because the machine that is the family unit needs all the consciousness to be assimilated into one thought form. It's usually something along the lines of protect the queen at all costs, which is exactly how the matrix system of control works. So it was never rejection. It was always frequency. It was always about alignment. And being whittled down, the personality constructs, the identity, until we get down to the heart of the matter. Me, I, as God sees me, perfect, at least perfectly imperfect. And then taking on more of a observational role. Some experiences that needed to be witnessed, some acts, characteristics don't make for great viewing. But I was definitely blessed with the awareness that closing our eyes to certain aspects of self is a lot more dangerous than having to watch is nerve-wracking. To compassionately hold space for all of your selfishness to bleed through the gaps, the cracks where we have been made less than whole, or feeling like that. To do that takes a tremendous amount of courage. Because there is an ingrained phobia, because it is a phobia being an irrational fear. At the same time, it's all very real. An ancestral throwback by where being kicked out of the tribe equaled certain death. But we have to be initiated through these fires to come out the other side and to realise that we're never alone and that we surely will not die. As in, if you've got your own back, always, then so has God. If you're willing to be betrayed, mocked, humiliated, rejected, cast aside, that's where the gold truly lies in this life. Anything we cling on to becomes our captor. Because then we have to satisfy the requirements of holding on to that, of being held on to. I do enough work now to ensure that I don't need to keep being placed in environments where I am effectively being placed to set people up to fall on their own sword or give them enough rope to hang themselves with, testing whether what they say is what they actually are. It doesn't need to be like that anymore. Which means ultimate freedom. Free to be in connections with no undertow, no underlying motives other than expression, playfulness, peace, love, wholeness, and unity.